My name is Morgan Snyder. I'm owner and head brewer at Buttonwoods Craft Brewery. The journey for Buttonwoods actually probably started closer to 2012 when I first started home brewing. Just like every other home brewer, when they start their first batch, their first thought is, I'm going to open a brewery. And of course, naturally, I told my parents that, and they just kind of rolled their eyes. So I got launched into the craft beer industry. I took a summer internship of June 2012 at Union Beer Distributors in Brooklyn, New York. That led me to create a bunch of relationships with a bunch of different breweries, and ultimately landed me my first job. That was working at the Bronx Brewery as a production brewer. So I was working at the Bronx at the time, learning how to professionally brew and do it right, because it's easy to make beer, it's hard to make really good beers. I left the Bronx in fall of 2016 and started up the build-out phase for Buttonwoods Brewery. That ultimately took me about a year and a half, and since then we've been cranking out some super hoppy IPAs and sophisticated saisons and quirky and fun barrel-aged beers. So the beer brewing process is kind of, at least from an inspiration standpoint, it's kind of interesting because it really can stem from multiple different areas. It could be as simple as I found a new hop that I really want to try, so I'll formulate a recipe around that and build based on the expected flavor profile. Or it could be something as odd as I came up with a really interesting name for a beer, and what makes the most sense as far as the name to build a beer around. So the overall model is pretty much the beer first is one of the big things, and then it's also keep it simple. Those are two things that I kind of focus on. It's like, the quality of the beer is always going to kind of trump everything else. So Buttonwoods is, I like to think, a community. The goal is like, you're greeted at the door with a dog. And then you come in and you see this like very open space. It's open to different activities. We just want to make sure that we build and create an environment that people come in and they feel comfortable, and making you feel that you're a part of who we are, because that's what we want. It's a community-oriented business. The beer's great, but the people are what make the beer great. I think what sets us apart is that while we're doing a lot of the same things, we're also doing a lot of different things. We always have a kind of rotational draft board. You're not going to come in and just see a wall of IPAs. You're going to come in and see a wall of IPAs, saisons, lagers, barrel-aged beers, sours, barrel-aged sours. We just kind of try to brew as many different, unique, and fun things as possible. We try to challenge people to encourage them to try something that's maybe necessarily out of their comfort zone. Because I feel like that's the biggest thing missing in craft beer culture, is the desire for diversity. So it's just what we want to do is challenge you and make you reconsider what you think when you see other craft beers, like the Pilsner, the lagers, the Helleses. On a personal level, Buttonwoods is, I always say this jokingly, but this is my retirement plan. I retired at 29. It's great. I only work 7 days a week now instead of 5. This is what I want to be, when I'm 70 years old in the wheelchair. I want to kind of come in here and just sit down and have a beer that I helped design. I'm not in this to make it rich. I'm in this for the love of it. Everyone knows the real reason you should come in the door is because of Ollie. But I've heard the beer's not bad, so definitely come check out the beer. But what we want you to come in, and I want you to come in and have an experience that is warm and welcoming, and feel like you're at home, that you're just kicking back, having a beer with some friends. So I think we offer that pretty well, and I would like to say that that's what we do and we're gonna do for the foreseeable future. So when you come in, I hope that you have a great time and you make a new friend and you enjoy a good beer.